Alrighty, folks, good afternoon. Talking about properties today, talking about commutative, associative, and distributive properties. And these three properties are the basis of most of the content that we talk about in properties of real numbers. With commutative, we talk about how the commutative property is basically resembling a big community of numbers. If you think about it, there are no grouping symbols to deal with in the commutative property, and so you see just numbers. You see operators, you see equal signs, and you usually see both sides exhibiting the same operations, either multiplication or addition. You see the same numbers, and in this instance, you see some of the same numbers here and here: 3, 5, and 7, 3, 5, and 7, and you notice that. No matter how you solve them, no matter how you simplify this set of expressions, this equation, the answer comes out to be the same on both sides, and that is the concept we're trying to get across. That doesn't matter how you order the numbers, you're going to get the same sum or the same product every time by using the commutative property of either addition or multiplication. There are no grouping symbols here. You see that order doesn't matter. We have 48 here, 48 here, 15 here, 15 here. Order doesn't matter. Take a moment now to pause and to write down some of these things if you need to. I'll move out of your way. Okay, I'm back. When we're talking about the associative property, we are talking about grouping symbols. And I'd like you to think about how you associate with people here at school, how you associate with people at home, through other organizations, church, sports, if you have friends in other states or other towns. Those groups of people are different, or they could be different, and when you associate with something, you are in a group with someone or something, or some group of people. So who do you associate with? Think about how the associative property works here. You have a different group here as you do here. So I have 9 plus 1, I have 1 plus 6. Those are different groupings or different groups. And so we have the associative property in action there. Now what it's telling us is that we must solve the things in the grouping symbols first. And if we do that, we solve the rest of the problem after that, and we end up having the same thing on both sides of that equation once again, just like talking about commutative property. So there is a difference there between the commutative and the associative properties. You have grouping symbols here, and in commutative you do not. You can see that our problems are solved here. 9 plus 1 is 10, 10 plus 6 is 16, 1 plus 6 is 7, and add the 9 to it and you get 16. So the answers are the same. Same thing with multiplication. We have 2 times 4 solved first and then times 3 with a product of 24. 3 times 2 is 6. Multiplying by 4, you get a product of 24. The same thing on both sides. Remember, grouping symbols are in associative. Commutative is one big community of numbers. Pause now if you need to. And we move on. All right, move this over here. Alrighty. And our last property, which seems remarkably different than commutative and associative, would be the distributive property. The distributive property uses multiplication and also uses either usually addition or subtraction inside a set of parentheses to achieve the simplifying of a particular expression. There's a lot of words here, so you might want to pause, write down some things, and then you might hear me talking about it after that. 1, 2, 3. Time to move on. So we're talking about, think about UPS, think about FedEx, think about a mailman. What does a mailman do? What does a UPS guy do? He delivers packages. He goes from one place to another place. Well, think about a UPS guy delivering a number or delivering a factor to certain factors inside this set of parentheses. I'm delivering the 5 to the 4. I'm delivering the 5 to the 2. What I'm doing with those numbers is I'm multiplying. I'm going to multiply because I see no operator between the 5 and the parentheses. So that is assumed to be multiplication going on. That's just a math fact that we try to instill in you now. 5 times 4 is going to be 20. 5 times 2 delivered there is going to be 10. And when I simplify my expression, I get 30. Okay? So I'm delivering the 5 to the 4 and the 2 in the parentheses. I'm going to multiply those delivered numbers because there's no symbol otherwise there, and it's assumed to be multiplication. And I'm going to respect the addition or subtraction sign that's inside that parentheses. Okay, I have to still do that. I can't just ignore that. I can't just do 5 times 4 and 5 times 2 and leave it alone, because then I have only part of my problem done. I have to add those two up to get the answer. So if this was subtraction, it would be 20 minus 10 instead of 20 plus 10. Okay. So just to recap, commutative, a big community of numbers. Associative, you're talking about groups of numbers. Who do you associate with? Who do you have a group of friends with? And your distributive, think UPS. Think about who's delivering those numbers to the houses inside these parentheses. Hope that made sense. Stay tuned for the next properties video. Have a good day.